Recently, I've been getting back into handheld gaming and I fell down the rabbit hole of retro gaming. In the couple of years since I looked at handheld devices, the space has changed significantly. Gone are the really tacky, cheap feeling, look-alike handhelds that you would never buy in a heartbeat, to surprisingly elegant, high quality, customizable handhelds with the ability to play your own games. The space has grown to provide a lot of impressive options, and the number of handhelds out there can be quite overwhelming, so I thought I would make an introductory guide to help everyone out. This guide isn't meant to be comprehensive and showcase every retro portable out there, but it will show you many of the options, and hopefully it'll give you a bit of direction which system to research more on should you be interested. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And we have a Discord, so come along and join us there, and I'll leave a link in the description below. The easiest way to look at all the options available is to break the handhelds down into tiers. In these tiers, handhelds will perform at a similar level and will be in the same price bracket. Many within the same tier also use the same processor and RAM inside, so they will play the same games, and you'll just choose between other features such as the form factor, screen size, battery life, and build quality. I've come up with 5 tiers of handhelds, and these were determined by me and not set by the wider retro handheld community, so it's just my take of the current market right now. I've labeled the tiers from tier E through to tier A. All the devices shown in this video, I'll leave AliExpress links to below so you can check them out on your own. I'm mostly looking at more recent products, so I've left off a lot of older devices out of this video. In tier E, these are essentially the lowest tier retro handhelds that you can find. They can go to as low as $5, and they use the most basic of components. They have a fixed list of about 100 plus games, many from the 8-bit era or lower. This handheld here has 400 games, some of them from the NES like Super Mario Bros. And Contra. This costs just $5, and you might be thinking, how is that even possible? The gaming is serviceable on this, but I wouldn't really recommend this to anyone who can get something from another tier. One final thing to note is there are some other options in this bracket. This $15 device looks like it has better build quality, but it does have the same games on the system. Tier D is where retro handhelds start getting really interesting, as this is genuinely where some good options lie. Many have operating systems that allow you to add your own retro games on them. In this tier, the prices of the handhelds range from about $30 to $60, and they can emulate games up to SNES and Mega Drive very well. Here, I'll highlight 3 options that interested me. The first is the Powkiddy V90, and I have already done an unboxing and look at how games played in a video, so go and check that one out. While this device is nothing much to look at, this is surprisingly serviceable handheld. The fact that you can change the operating system, themes, and add your own games make this a really fun handheld to experiment with, if not actually play on. Next is the Powkiddy Q90, and this is essentially the same handheld as the V90. It has the same processor and RAM inside, it just has a different form factor, plus it has the addition of an analog stick. Another device with similar performance is the Anbernic RG300. Just from the pictures online, the build quality of the RG300 seems to be a much higher quality, but for that you'll have to pay a little bit more. It's currently $55 on AliExpress. Moving on to tier C, many of these devices use a Rockchip 3326 processor, which allows for pretty decent PS1 and Neo Geo level quality emulation. Where performance starts to fall off is with Dreamcast and PSP level games. So on the PSP, simple games run well, but anything requiring 3D and large game areas really suffer. On the Dreamcast, it's hit and miss. I'm in the middle of testing right now, but some games like Soul Calibur and Virtua Fighter 3TB are very smooth, but many others need better hardware. Overall, at this level, between $90 to $120, you can expect to play PS1 level games on your device, and anything on top is a bonus. Here are a few devices to give you a head start at this level, and hopefully you can find more devices on your own. The first device here is the Anbernic RG351P or RG351M. I purchased a RG351P for about $90, which came with a carry case, Wi-Fi dongle, USB-C to USB adapter, and screen protector. I recommend just getting the pack with the Wi-Fi dongle to save you the trouble of ordering it separately and knowing it will work with your handheld. The RG351M is about $40 more, so about $130 to $140, and has a metal, more premium casing and Wi-Fi included inside, but otherwise it's the same device. The device comes with a 3.5-inch 3x2 screen aspect ratio and a 480 by 320 resolution, and it is a little small if you're used to bigger screens for retro gaming, but it feels fine to me. The device is Linux based and it's very easy to add custom operating systems, custom themes, and add your own games. It does take some time to customize everything the first time, but it is very easy to do. There is another device in this family called the Anbernic RG351V, which has a Game Boy form factor. This is missing the second analog stick, but this device comes with a 4x3 screen aspect ratio with a 640 by 480 pixel resolution. So it's going to make games with that old style 4x3 screen aspect ratio look great. The processor is the same here, so you'll be playing the same games on this system. The RG351V is $90. The next device here is the Powkiddy RGB10 Max. The difference here is that this has a 16:9 5-inch screen. Now, early reports say that this screen was very dim, but apparently this issue has been fixed by software now. It's more expensive at $120, but you do get a much bigger screen. That said, the screen is 16:9, so older 4x3 games will come with wider black bars on the sides. Still, it is the biggest picture currently available for a retro handheld. If $120 is too much, you could opt for the $80 option, which is the RGB10, which swaps out the 5-inch screen for a 3.5-inch screen, but keeps the processor. Though at this price point, I think the Anbernic RG351P is the better option. Finally, I want to quickly mention one more option, the Retroid Pocket 2, which has many interesting features at the $80 price point. This is Android based, so you'll be able to play some Android games as well. It comes with a 640 by 480 screen, much like the Anbernic RG351V. It'll just come down to which form factor, build quality, and operating system you prefer, and I'll leave that for you to decide. Tier B doesn't actually have a lot of systems right now, and that's because I'm leaving this one open for handhelds that will be coming out in the future. Here we have the Odin and Odin Lite that is currently available for pre-order on Indiegogo, and I have a few videos on the channel going over the specs and what you should expect for this device. It seems as though the Odin could potentially emulate Dreamcast and PSP very well, given the Snapdragon 845 in the base Odin and the Dimensity D900 in the Odin Lite, so this definitely puts it into another tier above the devices in Tier C. There's also the possibility of it running GameCube and some Wii games as well. Another device that is only a rumor so far, but the developer has given a sneak peek, is the Anbernic RG552. The developer has shown God of War on PSP running on the device, and this means a stronger processor will be used given the RK3326 struggles here. Given the naming convention, the RG552 will most likely sport a 5-inch screen as well. If it can run PSP games well, expect this to also improve Dreamcast performance. Lastly, in Tier A, we have handhelds that have laptop processors and are the most powerful devices here. Here, I'll just highlight 3 choices, but for a more in-depth look, I do recommend researching more on each individual device. The first is the GBD Win family of devices. Their latest device is a GBD Win 3, but they also have a GBD Win Max 2. GBD has always made the devices as a handheld PC first, and their devices come with a keyboard and also gamepad controls. The GBD Win 3 and Win Max have a Tiger Lake CPU and Intel Xe integrated graphics. I recommend checking reviews of the GBD Win 3 to see what types of games perform well on this device from a PC gaming perspective. In terms of emulators, this handles PS2 games surprisingly well, something none of the devices in the other tiers can get close to. Many games running 60 FPS at full resolution. To get this level of performance, users do have to pay a premium. A GBD Win 3 costs $900. A similar device is the Aya Neo, which runs a similar processor, the AMD Ryzen 4500U, which is a 6-core, 6-thread CPU with 6 Vega GPU cores. And in the upcoming Aya Neo Pro 2021, it will run an AMD Ryzen 4800U, which will have 8-core, 16-thread CPU and 8 Vega GPU cores. This latest device should put it on a similar level to the GBD Win 3. Again, it's really expensive, with this device coming at a price of $1,200 and really caters for the niche crowd who really needs a portable PC gaming on the go. Finally, we have the Steam Deck, a device that starts at $399 and starts shipping at the end of the year to the US, Canada, Europe, and the UK. This will have a Zen 2 4-core 8-thread CPU with 8 RDNA 2 GPU cores, so this will be great for any PC portable gaming and will be the best device available. In terms of PS2 emulation, the GBD Win 3 might actually be better given the slightly stronger Intel Tiger Lake CPU. We've already seen the GBD Win 3 beating the Aya Neo in terms of PS2 emulation, and I'll link a couple of videos below for that, but the Steam Deck should still be very playable in terms of PS2 games and will play most games at 60 FPS, while some really intensive games could be between 30 to 45 FPS. For $399, this is probably the best bet in terms of affordable PS2 emulation in the foreseeable future. So that's the buyer's guide right now. I hope that gives you a bit of a look at the handheld devices out there on the market right now. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.